What's up folks, welcome back to the channel. It's Fozza here, and today we're going to actually have our last custom tactics video for FIFA 22. Basically, by the time this video goes up, we have basically a week and a half before FIFA 23 drops. At that point, I don't think there's much more need for more custom tactics. We've had a year full of them on this channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 3-5-2, and rather than having a custom tactics video next week, we'll do something a bit different, looking ahead into FIFA 23 and trying to get you guys prepared as best as possible for that. So without any further ado, hit the like button in the video if you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here as well. It's all greatly appreciated. The support in general for the past year, I must say, since we started uploading regularly and consistently, has been absolutely amazing, so thank you for that, and I look forward to seeing what FIFA 23 brings. And let's dive in to the 3-5-2 custom tactics. So you can see this is the team we've been using for it. This is essentially the endgame team. That video did go up if you've seen it. Also, let me know what your endgame teams are down below, or tweet them to me, or join the Discord and send the images in. It's interesting to know what you've got to at this stage of the game. Obviously, this was my main Road to Glory team, and it's just absolutely stacked. The only player I've bought on this entire team, I think, was Spinazzola. Yeah, I bought him. Everyone else first owner, so that's pretty cool. If we go over to the custom tactics, you can see we're going to be playing a 3-5-2 that is press after possession loss. We're going to be running a 38 width and a 63 depth. The 38 width, as I've discussed in other videos with a 5 back and a 38 back, you kind of want it definitely to be under 40 in most cases for the 3 at the back. Some people try to get it as close to 30 as possible. I find at this point in the meta, with how good players are, 30 is absolutely fine. It's actually kind of a sweet spot. And the depth is 63, and normally I try to exceed 70 on this, but with how we're going to be playing this 3-5-2, there is the potential to lose the ball in the transition, and obviously if you're really far up the pitch, that recovery can be very difficult. But if you're just that little bit deeper, obviously 63 depth is still quite aggressive, so no problems there at all. For the build up, we're going to be running balanced with direct passing. As we all know, at this point, chance creation direct passing is incredibly overpowered on well, overpowered compared to everything else on next gen. Everything else kind of sucks, so you have to play direct passing or balanced. And then we've got build up play on balanced. I had tried it on long ball initially, but it didn't run anywhere near as smooth, so we had to switch it to the balance. The width is 44. Again, sticking to that rule, if we don't want to be more than 10 higher or 10 lower than what the defensive width is, you want to be in that banding. So we're going 6 higher in this case, and it worked quite nicely. We've got a lot of width anyway with the right mid and left mid, 5 players in box, and then 3 corners and free kicks. It is pretty normal, nothing too fancy on that element. And when it comes to the personnel for this system, it is rather self-explanatory, but there are a couple of options you can go for. So obviously the back line, I've opted for 3 centre backs. You can run a full back here if you wanted. So you wanted to run Theo Hernandez rather than Kalulu, you could get away with it. The sort of defensive midfielders, I still prefer to run 2 box-to-box players. You could run someone like a Kante maybe instead of Barella here and have it be more like medium attack and high defensive, but my personal preference is to have 2 proper box-to-box players here, just to give you a bit of flexibility in things. The front 3 self-explanatory. You want 3 normal attackers to this. It can be 2 wingers and a striker. It can be 3 central players like we have here. And then the wide players is where you can sort of have a bit of a mix. I've opted for Saint Maximin and Beale, which are both traditional wingers, and that's how they are stat-wise. Beale has a bit more defending stats, and it's sort of the element where you could get away with him being a wing back because he's got the physicals and he's got decent defending stats to an extent where you can get away with it. St. Maximin really isn't that. He is an attacking player, but with it being a 3-5-2, I still wanted that attacking capabilities. What you can do is either run 1 proper winger and 1 fullback here if you wanted to, like Valverde rather than Gareth Bale would be an obvious one, somewhat keeping chemistry. Or you can actually run 2 fullbacks in these positions, providing that they're like good enough to go forward. So Valverde and Pereira, the Udinese left back, would be an example for this. And that's personnel wise for you. When it comes to the instructions, we are running comes for cross and sweeper keeper again, which is something I'd say I flip between that and the default quite often. It's very much personal preference and the keeper you have. Try it, see how you get on. If you're not liking it, put it on default. It's not a big deal breaker for the system. The 3 centre backs are all default. You don't want to mess around with anything there. The left defensive midfielder is cut past and stay back and cover centre, which has kind of been our go-to combination for our main defensive midfielder this year. And then the right hand side, we've got Renato Sanchez, our right defensive midfielder, just on man mark. So you are going to have someone dedicated to staying back, which is Barella. He's going to sort of guard that back 3, but then you are going to have Renato Sanchez, who's not on stay back or drop between defenders or anything like that. He is going to be able to run forward. Essentially the ruling for this is you want your player who is either far better attacking wise or far better defensively to be placed in these roles. So really I could have played this either way, but Barella's defending is a bit better than Renato Sanchez's. and you know, Sanchez is a bit of a glitch, so I was happy for him to be the roaming midfielder that got forward a bit better, even though Barella has the 5-star. We'll look at the wide players next. So St. Maximin is come back on defence, get in behind and get into the box for cross, and then it is very similar for Beale. It's very similar for Beale, but the only difference is we have Beale on cut inside. St. Maximin isn't on cut inside, just come back on defence, get in behind, get into the box for cross. Beale is come back, cut inside, get into the box for cross, and get in behind. So initially I had been playing these guys on balance, and I did notice like just the transition wasn't all there, and I had to switch them on to come back on defence just to make sure it sort of gets close to that 5 backline while defending. And also it actually helped them in an offensive sense. It was kind of weird. I feel like when you don't have them on come back, they kind of linger in positions, and then obviously all they're going to do is get behind or cut inside, and they kind of get stuck in their position. So whenever you're ready to do build up, they're already there just waiting, not really moving, because the AI can't suck like that. When you have them on come back on defence, they're going to get involved with the build up. You're able to play 1-2s with them, and it worked very nicely. The one thing to note, the cut inside isn't a specific thing for Beale. You could easily put him on default, and then you could run both default, but I think having at least one of them on cut inside is definitely the way to play. It doesn't matter if it's your left or right. In my case, I've opted to have Beale on the cut inside with that like left foot, and then St. Maximin with the pure pace. I just want him to get in behind. It's kind of self-explanatory like that. The cam, you're going to have stay forward, get into the box across. This is kind of my normal combination. I had actually tested this in default, and Messi got dragged out of the game so much because of it. The build-up play was tragic without having that cam there, so definitely you need to have them on stay forward. Get into the box across is something you always want to have on. If you've got a physical cam, I would try aggressive interceptions. Obviously, Lionel Messi, not the best cam for this. I'm trying to think through. Maybe if you're playing that St. Maximin, I can put aggressive interceptions on it. Got the stamina for it, got the physical for it. Even Beale, I can definitely put aggressive interceptions on it. If you're playing something like that, that'll work. If not, if it is someone like Messi, just to stay forward and get in the box for cross. Our left striker is purely our getting behind. So changing this up a little bit. Normally I'd have my left striker as my stay central, stay forward and getting behind. But just getting behind for Mbappe this time is because really I wanted to battle on the left side to be utilized a lot. Stay central, getting behind, and stay forward was the combination there. So that's the instructions. And now we're going to look at some of the gameplay. So the first game I have here is a 2-0 rage quit. It's just to show some of the goals and some of the build up you can have. I think it is a very quick goal we score with Dybala. Managed to get through. Yeah, just this was right from kickoff. I was starting in the 3-5-2 anyway, so it meant that my players were naturally in all the positions I needed them to be in, with Dybala transitioning into the striker role. And it's just a bit of link up between the triangles of the attackers. Really, you can see Messi. St. Maximin, I did find that St. Maximin likes to cut inside a little bit, despite not being on it. He likes to hold that positioning. So basically we're running with Messi here, who's the cam. This is St. Maximin at left mid, Beale here at the bottom of the screen at left mid, and just creating running options, and then we managed to score right off the bat, which is quite nice. So let's bit of the gameplay out so you can get an idea of how it is defensively. You can see that that's St. Maximin, Kalou there tracking back. Beale tracked a bit deeper than St. Maximin did, and look, St. Maximin straight away here on the getting behind, just eager to make runs, which opens some space for Messi. Honestly, a bit of a weird ball through. Can't believe it fell to Mbappe like that. And then Dybala with a very interesting finish with how he hit that through. Like, yeah, inside of the foot, sort of curls around the keeper to the inside of the post, and then we got a pretty quick 2-0 rage quit. This next game is a 6-2 win. The 2 goals we will showcase because I think there's some examples of what you can expect and see. Obviously, as always with the custom tactics, no formation is perfect. There will be ups and downs. 3-5-2 overall is a very strong formation, something you should consider going into FIFA 23. But like I say, we'll have more on that in the next video. But I always like to show, say, the weaknesses on the defensive side of things. But sometimes it's just a case that I can't defend and I concede. The first goal comes from a bit of a counter attack. We've stepped up with Rudiger here to win the ball back, and you can see this is the front 3 that we've been discussing. Having Messi on stay forward means he's actually here and actively involved. When he wasn't on stay forward, he'd be playing basically in front of where Beale and my centre back is here. I think it's Rudiger. Basically, he'd be in this sort of position here, which is very useless for me on a transition. But you can see the space opens up for Mbappe. We're able to get forward, and then it was quite a little simple cut back. And can we just appreciate the flair finish from Messi here? Like, just let's watch this build up a game and get in with Kalou. Drag him out, win the ball with Rudiger, and instantly hit this counter attack. 2-on-2 once I play this ball to Dybala. He has to drag a player out to try and cover it. Messi with a little flair finish. Just absolutely lovely. Obviously, the way it is with FIFA, a lot of goals come from counter attack. You see, we've won the ball back here, and instantly you can see the runs that people are willing to make. We're not running a long ball or anything. I sent Dybala on that run by pressing L1, and then there's just space to tap it back to Mbappe, and it's a really easy break. But this is a perfect example of the 3-5-2. You can see defensively, St. Maximin is coming back. He's essentially playing like he is a left wing back in this case. He's on the comeback. Beale's going to come back to try and help things out. We might as well win the ball with Rudiger. And essentially, I just press L1 here after I press that pass. And it just sends Beale on the run. It creates the opening. And we know Dybala, 98 rated card, overpowered, got the pace. And then that's Mbappe. Just having him not on stay forward, honestly, is the reason this happens. If he was on stay forward, if I can sort of showcase, if Mbappe was also on stay forward, he would have been like here already. He would have been like, what, 5 to 10 yards ahead. But he's holding this space. He's not on stay forward, which means I have the option for a cutback, which is quite nice. This is where this guy gets the first goal. Also, he turned up for like 10 minutes in this match, like 10 in-game minutes, a couple minutes real time. Really nice link up, and that was a great finish by Haaland. I don't know. Maybe a FIFA coach should analyse this and say, I dragged Chiellini out. Actually, yeah, I dragged Chiellini. He played the pass through, and it was a lovely finish. Like I say, he scored 2 goals very, very quickly. This is just sending lots of people forward. He's doing lots of little L1 passes, making the runs. Again, the space just opens up. I think the AI with Chiellini, maybe I should have switched to him. Maybe this was a me thing. Maybe this is a 3-5-2. You can see I'm controlling Rudiger here. I've switched to Kalulu. Chiellini just sort of holds the space randomly, and then he gets the goal and it's 2-2. So we can pin that as a mix of my defending plus the 3-5-2, just to be aware of if people are going to be making, like, say, if they're calling for a run to happen and there is that bit of space in between your centre backs and you drag one even the slightest bit forward, there's a chance that they'll hit that L1 and just play a ball through and they're going to score from it. I can't believe I didn't score from that, I'll be honest. This goes another good example of transitions wise. It was an awful ball from him, but we managed to win it back. And it's just running forward with Bale into the space here. Nice little play to Dybala. Obviously, we've got lots of options between Mbappe. Essentially, that triangle, having Messi on that stay forward and get into the box across, just helps this build up because it gives another pass and outlet. Honestly, I'd wanted the ball to go to Mbappe initially, but you know, we get back in the lead and then the game was pretty smooth sailing from then onwards. I say smooth sailing, it did take till the 88th minute to get the sort of the winning goal here. We can see we're playing with Chiellini, get a nice little ball into Ramos, who's come on into defensive midfield space for us. Vinny was our right mid in that case, and that's Pele playing left striker for us. Really just nice positioning, nice link up, and it was good to get that goal. This goal is a brilliant example of the patience you can have with your wide players. So obviously, St. Maximin isn't on cut inside, so I manually want to cut inside with him and create some options. Just sometimes you need to have that little bit of extra dribble just to open up space. Quick little pass from Dybala into Pele just cuts him wide open. But taking that time with St. Maximin, this is something that I do sometimes struggle with myself, and I notice a lot of other people do it. When they get the ball here, they're wanting this pass immediately. They'd be forcing like an R1 pass, like a power pass into Messi. And there's a chance that either this person who he's currently controlling intercepts it, or the AI steps up and intercepts it. So just giving that extra second, letting people make a little bit of movement, and then playing it to the person who is you just know there's not going to be an interception, and then you can either turn and shoot or play a quick pass like I did. And it's just taking that time in some instances. The last goal was kind of icing on the cake, and we step in with Kalulu and win the ball back, and it's just pumping balls along here on the counter attack. Kind of lucky that Pele doesn't fall down. Vinicius Junior team of the season was nice. What a little ball across, and then Messi with the composure to lock in that 6-2 win. And finally, we've got the game where I scored 7 goals, but it's mainly the conceding situations that I want to look at in this, because I did concede a few. But also, just look at this for a run from Mbappe. I can't remember if we score from that or not. We don't. He moves Pope, but that's Barella winning the ball back, and then just Mbappe being on getting behind, instantly making a run for us. So I think this is the only game out of what I recorded where I am playing someone else who seems to be running the 3 at the back. It's either that or the run a very wide forward spread. I think it's a very wide forward spread at the minute with possibly someone on sort of just on the stay back. It seems to be that way actually. But he's run the ball forward and instantly leaves us in an advantageous position. Yeah, definitely. It's a 4-back. It was a bit of a weird analysis when I was flicking through. It looked like a 3. Playing a 4-back, which means I can, because it's a wide 4-back as well, there's going to be running space for me. Very lucky, honestly, that Mbappe didn't get caught offside there. It was very close, but lovely little link-up play, just winning the ball back. Fast attacks is what I think the system is all about, especially with the press after possession loss. But you can see, just looking here quickly, look at this 4-back he has. There's a lot of width here, and we have 2 central players and a cam. So even in these situations, all it takes is winning this ball back, and we instantly have a 3-on-3 with a lot of passing options, with obviously quick right midfielders and left midfielders to sort of penetrate that. Obviously, his first goal was a Cristiano Ronaldo header from a corner. It's FIFA, that happens. Second goal, however, I'd say is much more on me and the system. You see, he's playing it around we have St. Maximin, who's sort of tucked in a little bit. This is what I meant when he likes to cut in a little bit. Although he's on comeback and he will be like essentially trying to play a left wing back role, he does cut like sit in front of the centre back sometimes. So just something to be aware of with how the system works. Bale, however, is holding his space fairly well, but it's just a case if he manages to play the ball through here. Bale, I think if you had a fullback in Bale's position here, the AI might pick this up. So that's something where your actual selection on players might be worth it. However, you've seen already that Bale in the attacking sense has been very beneficial for me, so it's trying to weigh that up. Obviously, St. Maximin is doing really nothing in this situation. Bale, though, I feel like if I had an actual fullback, they would have at least put a bit more pressure on it. So that's something just to be aware of when you're doing your personnel. It didn't take us very long in the second half, though, to get back on even terms. This is very much just a case of kind of lucky it falls to St. Maximin, but he's got the pace for this. We put a little ball through to Mbappe. I want to take time with it. And honestly, I maybe should have just taken the shot with Mbappe, but sometimes taking that extra pass to open up the opportunity and not doing what's not like the first thing that they expect is a good way to open goal scoring opportunities. And I know we are in the last couple of weeks of FIFA 22, but a lot of what I'm discussing here in the gameplay sense will transition over to FIFA 23 in regards to like being patient with your play, taking that extra passing opportunity. Some more elements of the meta might change. You know, that was just a nice little win back. The press after possession loss paying off. Some things like that. Maybe long ball will be a lot better than balance. Maybe direct passing won't be as powerful. Maybe possession will be better. Stuff like that might change, but the general sense of playing and how you want to sort of like think about the game, taking those extra passes, knowing obviously if something is abusive to make use of that broken mechanic. But a lot of what we're discussing now will hold true with maybe a little bit of change or just a little bit of tweaking in FIFA 23. So if you're watching this now, this is something you can apply for the last couple of weeks while you're having fun in the game. That was honestly, I should have shot with Messi, that was tragic, but something to keep in mind for this point in the game. And you can also use this formation and then run essentially this at the start of the game and see how it goes and tweak it, and you might have a very powerful option at the very start of FIFA 23. And this will be the last goal show where I know I scored 7 in this, but I think we've covered everything we need to. I'm pretty sure we score a goal in a second. Yeah, we do. We passed it straight back to Mbappe. Dybala here, nice little turn. This card is fantastic, by the way. If you've not completed it yet and you want a card that's going to be fun for the rest of FIFA 22, definitely pick up this Dybala card. It's a plus side for me that he is a Roman player as well. But that's all the gameplay. Hopefully you got some good takeaways from that and I've managed to explain myself well. Like I say, that is the 352. This is the last custom tactics video we're going to have made for FIFA 22. Again, I just want to express how thankful I am for the support on the channel. I think we're almost close to 1800 subs now. The views on some of the videos have been insane throughout this year. I'm really looking forward to going into FIFA 23 and seeing how things go. Hopefully we'll stream a bit more. Still making a decision if we stream on YouTube or Twitch for it. Let me know if you've got a preference in that down below. I might do a Twitter poll and a poll on YouTube to get some further ideas. And also either tweet me, join the Discord, or just type it in the comments down below. Let me know what your like end game squad for FIFA 22 is, because I know there's people who probably have better squads than me. Maybe they've played footies a little bit more and have like that Mendy card, that Salah card. But overall, I'm really happy with how this account has come out as an RTG. It's a bonus point. We've had so many usable Rumble players as well. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next week's video. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.